This is Prominace 2, a Minecraft mod pack made with love and masochism. It adds hundreds of new scenic biomes, weird and wonderful mobs, tastefully built structures, all for us to explore. But lurking underneath is the void, which has been trying to take over and destroy this paradise for a millennia. So it's our job to protect this place by beating all the bosses and monsters that come our way, while also surviving 100 days in hardcore mode. After spawning in, I run to the nearest tree with murderous intent. And no, I did not replant. I absolutely hate the environment. With the wood I just got, I start making wooden swords. Yes, multiple of them. For some of you, this might be too many. The only reason I'm making all these wooden swords is because you can get rerolls. And maybe I can find a legendary wooden sword, which gives you +2 luck. And as you can guess, I did not find a legendary wooden sword. After crafting and mixing what would be 100 wooden swords, I finally get 2 legendary wooden swords. Ah yes, the fruits of my labor that I did not want. And then I start killing some pigs. I was hoping to get some leather, but I only got 1. After looking around in some ruins, I finally spot a ship, which obviously had pillagers on it. The bottom tier had nothing special, so I try to go up and immediately get shot at. POV, you're an American student. After all my hard work, I get some pretty decent loot. 3 diamonds and enchanted armor. In another chest I get a legendary bow, some diamonds and some iron. They also have a secret chest down here, which generally has pretty good loot. And look at that, a legendary golden cleave. Would be really good if it wasn't gold. I'm still gonna use it though. After looting the ship, I make a boat and start exploring the ocean. I find a few barrels and a creeper. I found a floaty that helps you swim faster. A bit of armor and bits and bobs. As you can see, I'm using Chunky to load up the chunks so my PC doesn't chug. Yeah, I tried to say that 5 times in a row. On the dawn of the new day, I finally find the villager voyage I was looking for. This is an amazing structure with a lot of great loot, especially for the beginning. And legendary boots on the first one. I also got thigh highs, which negate fall damage. And I finally have a backpack to carry more stuff. In below deck of the biggest ship, I find some chests, but I find a backpack upgrade. And from all of the chests combined, we don't have a food problem anymore. I also took all the sponges in there. And after taking all that the villagers had, I swam away, using the floaty that gives me Dolphin's Grace. I can just swim faster than a boat. I found another pirate boat, but had to struggle to get up there for like 5 minutes. For some reason the pillagers were bugged, so I took full advantage of the situation. I made sure the Vindicators can't get to me. As you can see, I've been leveling up the whole time, but haven't used a single level cause I'm stupid. All I really got were some gunpowder and redstone, and some occasional TNT. And then I started farming the Vindicators for some EXP. They also had a chest under their spawner, which unfortunately I had to break to get to the chest. I got a diamond necklace which gives me 10% speed. After finishing up, I go to my next victim, which is another villager fleet, on which I found a villager hat which basically gives me better trades from villagers. Also got a legendary axolotl rubber ring with the epic diamond spear with fire aspect too. In below deck, I get the Sentinel achievement and trophy for looting more than 100 chests. Epic red mystery leggings, which I definitely will be using. After taking all I needed, I jumped ship to get to my next destination. All I really wanted now was to find a good looking base to settle down, but what I got was a pirate ship, which I obviously had to loot. On the very first chest I open, I find a pocket piston, which basically gives you universal knockback. In this room there was basically nothing in the barrels, so I just took all the hay bales. In the captain's room, I finally find a iron backpack upgrade, which I immediately apply to my backpack, giving me 35 slots. In one of the chests, I also get a corrupted eye, one of 12 unique eyes I need to open the end gate and fight the ender dragon. The TNT in this room could be useful. There were some LAs and villagers trapped in the basement, whom I heroically helped escape. I also found this huge mound of copper blocks, so I decided to mine them all. After stealing everything of value, I jump out the back door. And at last, after 4 days in the sea, I finally found some land. In the morning I found a interesting looking structure, but there wasn't really anything of note in there, just some villagers and some food. While running around, I found a spider's den and decided to go within. Going inside there would be sudden death, so I decided to come up from above. There was an opening inside the lake, so I decided to come in from there. And then immediately got jumped. I don't know why, but I was struggling quite a bit fighting these spiders. The poison effect just really does it for me. After struggling for what must have been an hour, I finally managed to get out of the situation and find another cave. This time I jumped straight in and started lighting up the place so no more spiders spawn, and the plan seemed to work pretty fine. I just quickly broke the spawner and we're safe. I then went into another shaft which led me to another spawner, but it was just a spider spawner, so these are just easy to take care of. Without the poison effect, the spiders are easy clap. After running around for another while, I finally find the treasure room, and the loot wasn't really anything to write home about. It was just fine as beginner loot, but I've already passed that shit. I found another cave opening and decided to just jump right in. Ran around, placed all the torches I could so no more spiders spawn. And I quickly took care of all the spiders. After breaking the spawner, I immediately started looking for the treasure room, and I pretty quickly found it. There wasn't really anything good in this one either, so I just got the hell out of there. At first, I was just fighting a few spiders, few zombies, but then I saw a mutant zombie just trying to get its way to me. I was pretty scared, thinking it would do a lot more damage than it actually did, so I just started fighting it. The mutant zombie is a modded creature. It just has more health, more damage. The main thing it has is it can respawn multiple times if you don't use fire. It wasn't really doing any significant damage to me, surprisingly. It just had a lot of health, so I needed to fight it for a while. It flung me in the air a couple of times, but I have fall damage negation, so yeah, it didn't really work. After fighting for a while, it finally went down and it could not respawn since I had fire aspect on my sword. So yeah, easy clap. It also dropped this hammer weapon, which isn't really that good. It has a AoE effect, but I'm not gonna use that shit. I found this lighthouse village structure with a waystone of itself, so I just decided to settle down here. I was already homeless for 5 days and I was not gonna be homeless for another. One of these villagers' chests had pretty good loot, which I'm just gonna start using right now. I was fighting these zombies and phantoms at the same time when I got another level, and I finally had the great idea that maybe, just maybe, I should use these levels to level up my shit. I am truly one of the greatest minds of all time. I decided to put my skills in rogue or physical damage since I did not have any magical weapons yet. That made the most sense to me. On day 5 I started sorting my chests since I was already brimming with loot and I desperately needed to put them somewhere. I also started checking the barrels inside the village, and I found a legendary katana inside of them. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have luck, so it's not as useful. I also started remodeling the house so I have more space. The spiraling staircase thing is taking up way too much space. I also found this little cute dude and decided to keep him. I carried him all the way to the base and kept him with a villager. FYI, this is the last time you'll ever see him. I saw him for the second time while I was editing this video. And just like you, I don't know why the chests have black borders upon them. And then I spent a bunch of time trying to get this villager inside the house. At one point, I just paused the game and just stared. And when I just about managed to get him inside the house, a motherfucking troll spawns. The villager runs away and the troll hits me like it's my fault, and then he tries to run away. I was still frustrated from the situation, so I took my frustration out on some Enderman. It didn't really work, so I decided to just sort my chests for the rest of the night. I started gearing up for the next adventure by using all the armor I've found. You can get permanent effects on your armors by using armor trims and different materials. I put quartz on all my armor so I get more XP. At this point I was using full mystery armor with legendary heavy iron boots. I found a map a while back and decided this was the perfect time to find the treasure. The treasure was actually pretty close, but it didn't really have anything good in it. There was a mine cells portal right next to the treasure, so I decided to get in. I don't know if you all played Dead Cells, but this mod basically brings Dead Cells to Minecraft. Just like this undead skeleton, which basically is just a regular Minecraft skeleton. And this is a shield zombie. It's basically a zombie with a shield. Yeah. The chests in this dimension have a bunch of stuff, mostly just string, paper, gold, maybe iron, emeralds. They also have these health potions which basically give you regeneration 4 and 10% of your health back, which is actually pretty good. In the chest you'll also find a bunch of enchanted books which have somewhat decent enchants. You can use them in the beginning. There are also these weapons which are pretty good. They have some unique effects, but the epic diamond katana I made it's just really good, so I don't really need them. During the entire day 7 I just kept running around fighting monsters, trying to find some good loot and trying to fill my backpacks. I was mainly trying to find runes here, which will help me make, fix and re-roll rune weaponry, so it's really useful. After running around for a while I finally find the gateway to the next dimension, the Promenade of the Condemned. It's fine, I just looked around for a bit and thought, maybe next time. After getting out and touching some grass, I decided to go back to my base and store all my stuff. I did not have much stuff yet, but I was still having a really tough time trying to inventory manage and keep everything neat. At least I had a bunch of books, so I wasn't gonna have many issues trying to enchant. And here's an example of all the decent weapons I've gotten yet. I was running around and saw a grave, and just like every other human being, I decided to rob it. And I'm so glad I did, cause this one had a Celestis, which if you can read, which has a unique effect, Astral Shift, which basically gives you invulnerability for 5 seconds, and as your dad knows, it's a really long time. And for my awful joke, a bunch of phantoms and a zombie jumped me, which I'd say is pretty fair. I was running around the world and I found a village and tried to loot it, but the ops got to me first. I broke all their bookshelves so they can't be educated and rise up against me. I also broke their bell, so they can't have any sense of community. After a whole night of pillaging and destroying any sense of future they had, I left the village. I found this jungle temple right next to the village and decided to get in to hopefully find a jungle eye. I was looking around the jungle temple and didn't really find anything of note. I decided to dig in for a while, but then I finally found a stairway that led me underground. After running around for quite a while, I finally find something. A chest which was obviously trapped with some string. Inside the chest I found a pair of kitty slippers which basically give you jump boost and creepers don't come near you. Inside another room I find a bunch of stalagmites laid on the floor, which I guess works as a trap but don't really do any damage if you don't fall from a big distance. And yeah, they also had silverfish, cause why not? After a long while I finally get to the treasure room, which is pretty underwhelming, I'd say. If I was still looking for a base, I'd actually say this is a pretty good place cause there's a lot of open space, a lot of room, and this is a pretty huge room. I could put a lot of storage here. Before opening my chest, I check for any traps cause I do not want to be blown up. And luckily I find the jungle eye, which is actually called the rogue eye. I did not know. Anyway, I'd said this was a pretty successful trip. I also found a pillager outpost which didn't really have anything. While looking around I also found a trapped LA which I did not free cause I don't give a shit. I find another jungle temple which obviously I had to get in. even though I did not really need anything. It was pitch black and filled with cobwebs, which does not give me confidence, and obviously there are cave spiders. The chest also didn't really have anything good, so I decided to get out. I was trying to get to the nearby village when something magical happened. A Zarpatak literally spawned right in front of my eyes. I could not believe it. I didn't really have a saddle, so I decided to tame it and keep it in a safe place. You can command them to do a few actions like sitting, following, or wandering with the help of a stick. I then immediately started looting the village to maybe find a saddle, cause if I can ride the Zarpatak, this game will be so easy. I also took the opportunity to gather some bookshelves. I also started trading with the villagers with the food I stole from them. This village also has these tiki statues which are made of solid iron block. I have a Prot 4 villager who is definitely scamming me. Right beside my village I found this pillager outpost, and obviously I had to get rid of them. Can't really let them ruin my newest investment. There wasn't really anything inside the chests, but the walls were lined with emerald blocks. I was just peacefully mining their emerald blocks when a dirty, stinking, good-for-nothing evoker attacked me for no perceivable reason. So I decided to run, cause I'm not fighting an evoker, especially surrounded by hundreds of pillagers. While I was running around in the forest at night, which I recommend everyone doing, I found this black stone structure, which looked like it was eaten right from the nether. Even the chests had nether loot. And the structure spawned right on top a mushroom house. While I was looking around for more structures, I found this house and decided to go in. Inside the house I found an anvil and put Prot 4 on my chestplate. Right beside the house there is another village, which I reluctantly have to loot cause I still need a saddle. No saddle, but I found this interesting weapon. It's called the Soul Keeper. It keeps souls. After failing at finding a saddle, I decided to go to this blacksmith house. And apparently Smith isn't home, and he left a curious looking 1x1 nether portal. Before I go into the nether, I decided to mine some sand. I needed this sand to make glass, and then make backpacks. A lot of backpacks give you unique effects. I wanna make two of them, the magma backpack and the lapis backpack. The magma one gives you fire resistance and the lapis one gives you more XP. Since you can carry 4 or 5 backpacks in your inventory comfortably, it makes sense to have multiple on them. But unfortunately, I don't have the necessary items to make those backpacks. We'll just have to postpone. Although, I did make some backpack upgrades, so we'll have more storage. I wonder what happened to Blacksmith. For further investigation, I decided to get in the portal, ignoring my better judgment. And immediately after entering the portal, I could guess what happened to Smith. Either he fell down to the lava, breaking his legs and slowly and agonizingly burning to death, or the piglins got to him first, broke his legs, and made him go away from this plane of existence violently. It might not seem like much now, but this is single-handedly the most important structure I've found the entire game. It's called a Blackstone Bridge. This is basically a piglin bastion on steroids, on mega steroids, on HRT, on every other illegal drug you can imagine, and you'll understand in a few minutes why it is so great. Each and every one of these Blackstone pillars are hollow, and they are filled with gold and loot. There are literal piles of gold blocks inside each of them, and I'll try to make a montage out of that. I also had enough material to finally make the magma backpack. I'm immune to fire for now. And just so you know, all that looting was just one tower or pillar, whatever. We still have like 6 or 7 more towers to go. This is why I was hyping up this structure so much. Anyway, back to looting. There's literally ancient debris on the floor, which I did not notice cause I'm blind. After skipping over like 50 ancient debris, I finally noticed that, these kinda look unique. This is netherite. In total, I probably opened more than 30 to 40 chests and mined over 3 to 400 blocks of gold. Obviously, I'm not gonna show all of it, cause even with the time lapse, it's getting really long and really boring. So I'm just gonna skip to the end. And the end is here after 4 more days of looting. I'm not kidding, I looted for another hour and a half. But even after all that looting, I still don't have a saddle. I got so much stuff, I don't think I actually need to loot anymore. So many diamonds, so many netherite, man, I'm just so rich. Ah yes, flexing on my viewers about how rich I am in Minecraft. I literally have a project due on Thursday. It's 9 PM on Monday. It's like 60% of the marks on that subject. I don't even like programming, and I'm a CS major. Anyway, back to gaming. I yapped for so long, this is going at 2000% and it doesn't end. I also made this glider thing, which lets me glide without any stamina bars, without any boosting needed. This is really good. If you end up playing Prominace, this is a must craft. And after 20 minutes of running, I finally reached my destination, which is just a church. A pretty big church, I guess. It also had a mine cells portal right next to it, which is pretty dope, I guess. It's not really that useful cause you only really need to use it once or twice. Inside the house there isn't really anything of note. There's no loot, the loot there is, it's pretty trash. I just walked for 20 minutes for basically nothing. This is all worthless. Except the structure itself, which I decided to make my new base. So I immediately started putting down chests to store my incredibly high amount of valuables. Then I immediately started remodeling, cause I wanted a more open plan base. My thoughts were I could also put my pets right in my base when I finally get a saddle. I was trying to get into the confession booth to confess about my sins, about the horrible things I've done in World War II. But, unsurprisingly, there's a hidden room inside the confession booth. Ah yes, this takes me back to my choir boy days. Now I just need a priest to come and me in weird places. And obviously, it goes without saying, unconsentingly. There's an entire dungeon below the church. The jokes literally write themselves. I could probably make 10 more horror jokes, but yeah, I want to stay monetized. On the church note, can I ask why is there chains? Why are there chains in the chests? Is it to, I don't know, hold the choir boys? This is getting way too dark. And to fix that darkness, I needed some torches. With the newly crafted torches in hand, I went right back into the dungeon. I tried to light up as much of the dungeon I could, so I don't get surprised by a creeper right inside my base. There wasn't any loot, just a bunch of zombie and skeleton spawners. But there were redstone lamps, which I stole each and every one I could find. If need be, I could just turn this entire thing into a monster spawner. My inventory was already getting full, so I decided to make a supply run. I promptly dropped everything I had into a chest. After dropping my load outside, I decided to get back in. The same thing I do with your mom. After lighting up the entire dungeon, I finally got up from my basement so I can do some productive work. I demolished the pulpit or the platform that the father stands in and decided to renovate it into my new crafting / storage area. And just in case if you're wondering how I got this crimson wood, I got it from the mushroom house we found in like the first 10 days. Since the place was getting really dark, I decided to use the redstone lamps we mined to brighten up the place. After that, I just kept sorting my inventory. I try to keep a decently sorted inventory, so I know where my stuff is and I don't lose shit. For the entire day 20, I just sorted my inventory. On day 21, I went out to explore the wizard tower right next to my base. And what a surprise, there's a bunch of skeletons. Yeah, not gonna lie, I would fight, but they jump on me. And just like every one of my problems, I ignored them and ran straight up, when I saw a barrel right below the stairs. And in the barrel is a saddle, which was definitely way too hard to find. I have netherite and I still didn't have a saddle. Anyway, now we can finally have a pet and we can fly in the sky. In the tower there wasn't really any other loot beside the saddle. Then I found another hidden chest, which had the cold eye. I was really stoked about that cause I was really behind finding eyes and each vote counts. Fighting the skeletons definitely ruined my armor, so I went back home to fix them up. After that I started running back to the village where my Zarpatak was parked, cause to fight the first boss of the game, we really need a flying mount, and you'll see why. Since the village was thousands of blocks away, we had a long adventure awaiting us. Since I had already tamed this boy, this was really easy. I just got on him and put my saddle on. And now after playing for 20 days, we can finally progress. And like every Minecraft mod pack you've ever played, by getting a flying mount or wings or a medium of flight, the game just becomes trivially easy. After flying around for a bit, I found another graveyard. This one is far bigger than the first one we found, and obviously your boy had to loot it. I'm looking through this graveyard cause the sheer amount of chests it spawns gives you a lot of chances to find something really good. Maybe a super OP weapon or a really good enchanting book. This is why you should probably look through all this. After doing something that's definitely not Christian the whole night, I go to my getaway driver and get out of there. Upon reaching my new base, I found something really interesting. My ride cannot get in. I had to break down my door to get my Zarpatak in. And I really hate saying that name, so we're just gonna call him Big Boy. The same thing your mom calls me. I put down 2 fence gates where the pillar used to be, so I don't have to break my door every time I get in. Just like you, I heard that zombie moan, but I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just not in the mood. With the ender pearl I've got from the graveyard, I make a summoning staff. You basically assign a pet with the stick, and then it allows you to control the pet, basically giving them simple commands, which you could do with a stick. The only special thing it does, it lets you summon it, but not through far distances. It's more like 10 to 20 chunks. Basically, if it's inside the loaded chunks, you can summon it. Also, here's the look at all the accessories I have on me. Most of it I got from the villager envoys, and the rest I got from the Blackstone Bridge, which definitely sounds like an Elden Ring boss map. During the late at night, I went into the wizard tower right next to my base. I had made plans to make it into my skeleton farm. I lit up the whole place and blocked off the top floors. Unfortunately, the tower was right above a lake. I just have to fill it with blocks. As per usual, the skeletons got out, and then a skeleton started playing some tunes. Whilst trying to get out, I fell into my own trap. And whilst trying to fix the trap, I fell in again. Even though I look like a porcupine and I've lost my boots, this was a success in my books. There are 2 main reasons why I made this farm. One is to obviously get some XP, and the second reason is to gain undead stars, which allows you to locate and summon the first boss of the game. On day 25 I get the last star. In total you need 4 stars to summon the Night Lich. At my base I made a heavy diamond crossbow. At this point this is the best crossbow I can make, except the netherite one, which I won't make, cause I can't reroll with netherite. After that I went to a nearby village to give them employment, definitely not slavery. After I made a villager employment camp, I put all the villagers I could find inside the camp, except the ones that can't work, because if you can't work, you have no value. Just like this nitwit. Then I went down the villagers' houses and broke their bed. Then I also put their beds on the floor, so they know where they belong. Then I immediately got a Knowledge of the Ages 2 book, which basically gives you twice the XP you should find. But the book I really wanted was nowhere to be found. I got so tired of rerolling books, I just quit the game. After rerolling for another couple of minutes, I finally got the book I wanted. I did not want to do this ever again, so I just bought 2. Then I immediately started walking away from this place. Couple more minutes and I'd burn this place down. By the way, I've got a mending villager for 1 emerald. After going home, I made some bookshelves to lightly enchant my stuff. I just took the first thing I got on the bow. It really doesn't matter. Only thing that I really need is a cobweb shot, which I already got. I only enchanted it just to get some extra stuff. After getting ready to fight the boss, I sent out my first star, which obviously went straight to the ceiling. In hindsight, that was just a dumb decision on my part. You can even see me standing in disappointment. I had to break into my own building just to get it. You can see it in my inventory, I just got it, but I did not notice. I just kept mining into my own building. Took me an embarrassing amount of time to realize I've already got it. Killed an illusioner to get his totem, which could definitely help if I get myself into a tough situation. I'm also killing witches wherever I find them in the hopes that I get a witch eye. I actually had to fly around for less time than I imagined. I just found it really quick. Inside the tower, the ice had already started melting, which definitely would not help if I didn't have a flying mount. There are also these armored skeleton spawners, which didn't really prove a problem, but definitely were annoying. I went to the main summoning area and placed my stars in the pedestals. Immediately the day turned to night, which is weirdly horrifying. Like, how does he have the power to make the sun disappear? But obviously your boy was prepared, cause I drank a night vision potion. The reason I spent so much time getting the cobweb shot enchantment is cause it just makes the first bosses trivial. Like in this case, where the Lich boss really likes flying around. He's dodging, he's weaving, but he can't do any of those if he's trapped. This is where the cobwebs come in. Each shot it lands, he gets trapped in a cobweb. And when it's stationary, he's really easy to shoot down. And as long as you have a flying mount, he really can't catch you. His orbs do really high damage if they manage to hit you, which I'm not really a big fan of letting him do. When he reaches each highlighted point of his health, he gets enraged and almost one-shots you, which is why I highly advise you not getting shot by him, especially in those stages. But if you can dodge and if you can shoot him, he's quite easy. He also starts spawning phantoms after the first stage, which can be really annoying if you don't take care of them quickly. After defeating him, he dropped a bunch of stuff, none of which were good, so well played, old man. He died while scamming me. Whilst I was flying back to my home, I found another blacksmith house. After not finding any loot, I decided to go to hell. When suddenly, a skeleton tried to stop me, which I'm not gonna let happen. I spawned in a really ugly looking biome with nothing near me. I was only here to fight the Nether boss, which is nowhere near me. I was gonna have to go looking for him. Yeah, I'm really sorry, but I don't have the footage of me looking around for the structure. I don't remember what the boss is called. The hand, the glove, the fist, the finger 5. I don't know, man. I jumped straight down the belly of the beast, you could say. There wasn't anything around except a ominous looking black stone eye. I immediately started fortifying one of the pillars with cobblestone cause I lost multiple hardcore worlds from this boss. He does a deceivingly high amount of damage. After doing all the preparations, I poked the eye with my pickaxe, which the boss definitely did not like. I shot my bow and hid behind the corner. Since I have cobweb shot, he can't reach me, and I can just safely shoot him from a distance. He managed to break through and straight up looped me. This is why I fortified the pillars, cause he can break through each pillar with relative ease. For some reason they gave this guy the strongest laser in the entire game. Thankfully my weapon right click lets me jump back a few feet. He also has this enrage mode, or what I like to say Super Saiyan 4 mode, where he just glows red and destroys everything in his path. I try strafing left and avoiding him, but he almost catches up to me right here. After a while he also tries this magic trick where he makes me blind. I don't know about you man, but he has way too many tricks up his sleeve. One of these times after blinding me, he immediately started charging up his laser. If that thing even grazes me, I lose half my health, so I was just running for my life. I get behind another pillar cause I'm just a little pissed baby boy. See how much damage that laser does? It just grazed me. And with one final shot, the Nether gauntlet, Nether glove, whatever his name is, he's dead. Damn, he also creates ancient debris blocks. Inside the chest he dropped, there wasn't really anything good. Hey, I got an eye, I guess. As you can see, there's ancient debris right in front of me, but since I'm blind, I don't see it. After killing the boss, I aimlessly wander around the Nether cause I did not mark down my portal. I had to abuse my previous footage and see where my cords are. Listen, this ain't cheating, alright? After going to the overworld, I found a skull waiting for me, which I don't know what it's supposed to be. Why is it called just a skull? I went back to my home and heard another zombie scream, which I'm gonna ignore cause I don't wanna find him. I sorted my inventory and upgraded my backpack. After playing this game for 30 days, I finally thought I should open the campaign page. I had so much rewards just piling up. I'm gonna avoid taking any XP from the rewards for now, since they give you a set amount of levels. If you have 0 levels, you get 10 levels, but if you have 100 levels, you still get 10 levels, so you get up to 110 levels, which is really OP. I really hope I explained it correctly. During the dark of night, I went back to the village, which definitely cannot be good news for the villagers. Ooh, and I'm blocking in these villagers. This definitely does not vote confidence. I quickly escort the librarian from the gas chamber, since he provides high value. Now please enjoy some nice and calming villager killing ASMR. To show respect for the fallen villagers, a zombie decided to play some music for us. I also cremated a villager, right in this hole. And then I covered up the hole. The villagers stay none the wiser. Then I turned Theodore into a alchemist. I don't know why I did this. I recorded this 3 months ago. Yes, I'm lazy. Ah, now I remember. I wanted gas tears. You might be wondering why I want gas tears. It's because I hate them and I want them to die. Back at my home, I'm making a hole inside my basement, which definitely cannot be good news for the villager children. And now, just like every other rich and famous person, I have a portal to hell right in my basement. Thankfully, my nether spawn was in a seemingly peaceful place. After a bit of running around, I found a nether structure resembling a nether fortress. I also found this huge Japanese jellyfish. I came across this castle door looking thing. It had a button on the side which I had to press. I then immediately ran away, cause I didn't want to face the consequences of my actions. When I came back, the guard at the gate was definitely not happy, but his opinion doesn't matter cause he's... As I went into the castle, I saw a bunch more wither skeletons, which I can't take all of them at once. Something your mom has never said. As I went up to the tower, I found a lot more mobs, which I had to take care of. The loot inside these structures wasn't really notable. Inside two towers there was a lot of loot and chests. After looking at the barrels and being disappointed again, I decided to look into the chest. When I got a legendary diamond katana, which is gonna be my primary or secondary weapon for the rest of the playthrough. I also somehow popped a totem fighting this wither skeleton. I don't know why I did that. After looting the entire structure, I also started mining down the blocks, cause I need nether brick to make some bookshelves, specifically the hell shelves. I don't know about you, but I find mining down these blocks really satisfying for some reason, seeing the progress easily. And also, mining netherrack specifically just makes such a good sound. It's like ASMR for some reason. So I'm just gonna edit down this part to make it somewhat satisfying. After running around in the fortress, I'm calling it, I found another curious looking chest, which had one of the best baubles in the game, the running shoes. This thing literally turns me into the Flash or even Wally West. After testing my Olympic level speed, I decided it was time to get back to my home. But alas, I spawned underground, so I decided to use this opportunity to find and kill some mimics. He had no chance against me. Most of the times they give out pretty unique items, but this time I got nothing good. I mean, I got a diamond though. I also found this huge chunk of andesite and decided to mine it all, since I can use it to reforge qualities on my weapons. And while I was inside the mines, I also mined out any verglass or water glass I could find, since they're useful ingredients in making unique weapons. I killed another mimic and found a pair of night vision goggles, which are useful. The monsters are definitely not trying to let me mine. After running around in the cave for a while, I found a better Minecraft mine entrance, which will definitely help me lead outside. But as it seems, I was definitely wrong. I, for the love of me, could not find the exit. So in the true Minecraft fashion, I decided to just jump upward. And immediately after stepping foot on the overworld, I got jumped by goons. Instead of fighting, I just ran away. I don't know why, but throughout the modpack, my map was doing a lot of weird things. It would put weird markers like this latest death, and it also removed markers from my map. I don't know why it did that. After reaching home, I immediately started destroying my old storage, cause I needed more room for my automated furnace. I also used a netherite and a upgrade template to turn my diamond katana into a netherite katana. Then I used a runic template and a piece of diamond to turn it into a runic katana. Here I am digging a hole into my floor, so my precious little birdie can drink some water, and so I could make a infinite water source in my own house. Then I started making some progress by making awkward potions, which in turn will be used to make regen potions, which will be used to make hell shelves, which then will be used to make enchanted hell shelves or infused hell shelves, I don't know. Then I also used my andesite to make some limestone chunks, which will be used to reforge my items. Here I am reforging my celestes, which had a really bad quality roll. Since I couldn't really get a good quality roll, I decided to upgrade my luck by reforging a fishing stick or fishing rod. If you don't know, the items in your left hand can have luck increasing modifiers, but won't be used since it's in your left hand. But the fishing rod's modifiers will be used. So with the katana, my fishing rod, my necklace and all other stuff I have, I have a pretty good luck score, which gave me this epic Celestes. I also enchanted this netherite sphere with knowledge of the ages too. Here I am making my first set of hell shelves, which are ludicrously expensive, but so worth it. When you get to enchanting power 45, you can infuse your hell shelves, which I'm just starting to do. There's a lot more things you need to understand to grasp enchanting in this game fully, which I am not gonna explain cause it's really boring and I don't even know how to explain properly. Also, I've started claiming all the levels I've got from achievement rewards and yeah, it's still not enough. Then finally I used all my enchanted hell shelves to make glowing hell shelves. Just so you know, this enchanting setup is gonna be upgraded and updated throughout the game, so don't be alarmed if it gets radically different. Well, this video was on hold for another 3 months cause I had exams and I have absolutely no idea what happens next. Everything you're seeing for the first time from this point onwards, I'm also seeing it for the first time. As you can see, it seems I wanted to take a swim in lava cause I don't know. It seemed kinda cozy. After not dying from lava, I climbed up the Nether fortress, which was filled with skeletons. And this one gave me just enough experience to level up. After not finding anything interesting inside the Nether fortress, I decided to go back home. Now that I think about it, I definitely just came here to gather some glowstones. After making even more glowing hell shelves, I decided to repair and reforge my items. Since I had no lapis for enchanting, I decided to take my steed to roam around and find a cave so I could find some lapis. In this one I definitely found some lapis, and by mining just one ore I got 28, and with 3 I got 64. I saw this huge cave inside the minimap, and when I went to go there I found diamonds, so this was definitely a good sign. There wasn't anything interesting inside the cave until I killed this mimic and I found some digging claws, which this creeper almost blowed up. This is basically just mining speed increase. I was trying to find an exit when I saw this underground graveyard type shit, which had definitely piqued my interest. The reason is, there's just so much chests in this place, your chances of getting a special weapon are definitely high. 2 chests in and I have found diamond leggings, and I immediately put them to use. I found this amethyst geode guarded by 2 skeletons, who definitely did not do their job well. I mined out all the amethyst cause I'll be needing them later. I also managed to level up from all that running around and fighting. The bottom layer of this maze is when the things start getting hard, and if you know me, I always stay hard. You could say the bottom layer is as hard as ice, cause the skeletons here throw freezing bolts, which freeze you up and you start taking damage, unless you have fire or light source near you. I definitely got sick of the skeletons, so I went straight to the source. I almost started dying from all the freezing damage I took. I could not even break the spawners. So I took the smart route. I locked myself in, like the absolute brave gigachad I am. A skeleton also came in to hide with me, but I definitely don't take hostages. I get rid of them. I don't know why, but another one spawned inside. What the fuck was this thing thinking? For the mountain of skeletons I had to get through to get to this chest, it definitely did not have anything good. This random chest that's sitting there nonchalantly had better loot than the heavily guarded ones. I'll just quickly repair my helmet and go straight back to bed. Every bit of loot I could get my dirty hands on, I decided to get back home, or at least try to, which I did for like 15 minutes. After making my way up to the overworld, I needed to find my steed. Cause if he dies, I'll have to get another one. I already had way too much problems finding just one. I don't need no more problems. POV, you're Taylor Swift and you need some groceries. Yeah, I don't know how good that joke is. If you're for some reason still watching this video, you definitely understand how my jokes work. I'll just make 1,000 of them and one of them will probably stick. Since I can't make good jokes, I'll just make a bunch of them. After trying to sort my inventory for a while, I got to the conclusion that I need to have better sorting. And by sorting, I need to make distinctions between each chest so I know which chest I need to put my shit in. For that, I need some item frames. Hence why I'm chopping down these trees. Also, I need to open up this space cause it's really fucking cluttered and the monsters just spawn everywhere. After putting up all my item frames, I wanted to upgrade my enchanting setup, which I did by using deep shelves. My main goal right now is to reach enchanting level 100. At this point of time, I thought this was gonna give me so much more enchanting. I didn't know how, I didn't know why. I was just a boy with a dream. And obviously my dreams were immediately broken, cause I had no levels. This is definitely not good news for the skeletons in my closet. After finding my XP from renewable sources, I go back to my home. After doing my first bit of enchanting, with mind you, 62 levels, I did not get much. Hey listen, I'm not complaining, alright? It's a pretty good bow, but come on, it's 62 fucking levels. I think I deserved a little bit more. From the position I am, you can tell I was definitely not satisfied. I wanted more. Just like your mom last night. Anyway, after I was done harassing the skeletons, I infused some more dormant deep shelves, which, after infusing, turns them into just normal ass deep shelves. I don't know man, it's a name, I guess. Now, you could be wondering why I was putting quartz trimmings on a random set of diamond armor. The knowledgeable amongst you would know that quartz trimmings give you 10% more XP, which again is definitely not good news for the skeletons in my closet. You might ask why I'm making so many spyglasses. It's because I'm a creep. Also because they're a necessary component while making hell shells of sight. It's another mumbo jumbo where basically if you place this inside your enchanting setup, it shows you the extra enchants you might get on your item. After getting my enchanting setup to a passable stage, I farm up some XP and start enchanting my armor. I have been moving around with subpar armor for way too long. It's high time I put my wild riches to good use. I also take out all the XP I've been storing all at once. I'm also gonna make some item tomes, which basically help you enchant your items. Each item tome acts like its respective item. You could basically use these instead of your weapons or armor so they don't get destroyed. And you can pull out any good enchants you might find. Now, the more perceptive of you might notice that I went from day 40 to day 42, and I have a really good reason for this. And the reason is, I don't know man, I recorded this shit 6 months ago. I was probably AFK or something. After enchanting all the items I wanted to enchant, I craft a Charm of Regeneration 2, which gives you regeneration for a few minutes, but I want to make it permanent. So here I am, fusing it with a hardening crystal, which basically makes it so it doesn't break. Now I have permanent regeneration too. I also craft a bunch of waystones, so I don't have to waste time traveling between locations. Speaking of locations, it's time I change mine. At this point in time, I didn't really know what I needed to do, so I went out to explore the Nether. And what a warm welcome I got. For the amount of mobs I had to defeat, this loot is definitely trash. The structure has so many hallways. Feels like I'm in a rich person house. You know those stupid ass builds where 80% of the house is just hallways? This place had a bunch of wither skeleton spawners, so I definitely took advantage of that. As you can see, my luck is insane. Actually it's not, I just have a really good looting sword. If I remember correctly, I have looting 4 on this one. After collecting enough wither skeleton skulls, I put a move on. After finally getting bored of that place, I decided to run around a bit more. And running around a bit more definitely brought me to the right place. This place generally has amazing loot and really strong enemies. Yeah, this chest definitely doesn't prove what I said. But hey, we got Cincinnati, which I could have just mined anywhere in the Nether. Now, this chest is somewhat decent. I much prefer the Netherite version, but the Ruby version is technically an upgrade. As you can see from this clip, I definitely ran around for a while but could not find jack shit. After not finding anything new, I jump ship and get on to the next structure. At this point, I'm just doing target practice. This bow is definitely worth it. After I was done bowing down these goons, I wanted to get down there and dirty up my hands. The weapons and armors inside these chests look so cool, but their stats are so low I just can't use them. I mean, I could use them if I didn't have really good weapons and armor. After getting my dirty hands on everything I could, my next objective was to kill everything I can. The piglin brute definitely gave me a reality check. It took out 61 of my health points in one shot. And I had an idea why it did so much damage. I think one of my enchants on my chestplate is definitely making me physically weaker. After that piglin scare, I did not want to take any more chances. Day 44, I tweaked my enchanting setup even more. And do you really have to ask? I kill even more skeletons. At this point in time, I almost feel bad for them. There are so many skeletons spawning, it's lagging my entire system. Yeah, I forgot to mention I also made this thing called a enchantment library, which basically acts as a storage device for all your enchantments. It also adds or removes enchantments. Let's say I put 2 Prot 4 books inside this and I'll make a Prot 5 book, or I could also make 4 Prot 3 books. You just have to know it's really useful, really helpful. It's just a really good quality of life upgrade. Now it's day 46 and I'm flying towards the village because I need to exploit them a little bit more. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I found this librarian who gave me a mending book on the first try and only for 12 emeralds. But that's not it. I can also use my villager hat to reduce the already discounted price to just 1 emerald, which is basically robbery. Listen, they're already enslaved, so being robbed isn't really a big deal for them. Back in my home, I'm still trying to get perfect armor, cause I have so much netherite not being used. Since I can't reroll with netherite, I don't have enough for that. First I need to get perfect enchants on my armor, so I can reroll them to make them even more perfect. Perfect squared. Here's where I'm at. Although my chestplate could use some work. I'm not gonna go through each enchantment I put on it. You can just pause the video and look at it. I go straight to the nether cause I wanted to test out my new armor. As you can see, it's doing alright. Combined with the radiance I get from my sword, I can just heal indefinitely. If you can't tell, this is basically the first structure we've explored. It's one of those black stone bridges. Since I'm a greedy bastard, I'm gonna take all the gold I can get my hands on, even though I already have too much gold. And I'm sure you've already heard this line multiple times by your own boss. Even though I'm pretty sure most of y'all are unemployed. Cause let's be honest, who in the right mind is watching Minecraft videos of a random screaming dude in the middle of the night? And to be honest, you're not even watching the good ones. This time I'm not gonna show every chest, every room I found, but keep in mind, nothing I got from this is game changing or even really that useful. And look at that, I'm already done. You probably have been seeing this boss bar on top of my screen for a while. And obviously the boss bar is from the Decaying King, if you couldn't read. And listen, you don't need to say anything, I'm gonna cheese the boss. I have also lost worlds to this boss, so I'm not taking any chances. Look at the day counter, we're half the way there. Yeah, and this is the prime reason why I put this wall up, so he can't suck me in. This is definitely not the suck of the fun kind. Even though I'm hiding in a corner, I'm still getting my ass beat. You can see I'm scared shitless. I'm just gonna stay in my little hidey hole. This situation is also reminiscent of the trauma you faced when your father came home drunk and beat your mom, and you knew your ass was next. There is not a chance in hell this video doesn't get demonetized. And after all that, if you're wondering why I randomly get the speed effect, it's because my bow has dynamo, which has a chance of giving me speed every time I hit a shot. And yes, I definitely cheesed the entire fight. Hey listen, don't get mad at me. This is Minecraft, that's how you're supposed to beat bosses. By cheesing the heck out of them. Ah yes, quest complete and a level up. This was completely deserved. For his drops, we got his sword, his heart, and his soul. The only useful one here. We could make a variety of weapons with this Lord Soul. Since I had nothing better to do, I decided to run around in the Nether for a while. On my way, I found another bastion. There's nothing really new to explore, so I go straight to the treasure, which you guessed is also quite disappointing. What I'm actually after now are the enchanted eyes, cause without them, there's no chance of me finishing this game. After having my fill with the dungeon, I mine upstairs. And look at that, I found another blackstone bridge. My luck with these things is insane, cause remember, this is one of the best structures for loot. And yes, you don't even have to ask that I looted the entire blackstone bridge, cause I am a greedy mother. And no, I am not going to edit down this entire footage into bite-sized pieces, cause I don't hate myself that much. If you're, for some reason, interested in seeing the entire segment, you can just slow the f down. You might have thought I was done. I was not. Okay, now I'm done. The previous footage you just seen was sped up to 15,000%. So, I hope you had a good watch. At this point, you understandably should be sick of time lapses. Well, don't you worry, sweet summer child. There's more to come. You can guess by the health bar what we're doing next. From all the block placements, you can guess what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna cheese the boss again. Before you say it, I have no pride, I have no respect for myself. I'm gonna cheese, I'm gonna take the easiest way out. I don't even know why I'm showing you this. Like, would you not believe me if I said I just sat in a corner and shot my bow until he died? After that completely fair and riveting fight, I leveled up. And with that level up, I finally got mastery in Rogue, with which I chose Fate, Shadow Techniques, which gives me 35% haste and a passive Slice and Dice, which gives me a chance to hit twice. The only reason I even fought him is because I wanted a second Lord Soul, and now I'm pillaring up cause I saw another city right around the corner of my eye. This one did not have much in the houses, but it did have a library, which also disappointed me. I was gonna go upstairs, but yeah, that thing definitely scared the shit out of me. You can just see me saying nope. These guys are really tough. First of all, they're black wither skeletons, but not just regular ones. They have armor, they have swords, they have shields. This is basically a fight against Mike Tyson, and this ghast is definitely not helping. I was gonna run around and find my nether portal, but then I remembered. I was rich, I'll just use my private jet. After reaching home, I made a few copper storage upgrades, which, I'm gonna be honest, looked like absolute shit. When I saw all the gold blocks I had a brilliant idea that no one has ever done before. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is gorgeous. And if for some reason you're concerned about my gold supplies, don't be. After finishing all the chores I had in the house, I made the weapon I wanted to make, The Sword of Freyr, which doesn't actually do that much damage, but has a really unique mechanic, which I'll show you after I reforge this thing. Uncommon. Yikes. I was hoping for epic at least. Whatever, we'll have to make do. Now I need to enchant this thing, after I reroll these horrible enchantments. After a metric ton of enchanting and with the help of the library, I finally have some decent enchantments on this thing. And now to show the real magic it does. When you right click on the sword, it works as a summon. It'll follow you around and kill enemies for you. It's really great for situations where you're just trying to do something and mobs are just everywhere. I'm gonna make another soul weapon, the Comet Spear. This one's also not that great as the main weapon since it has so little attack. Kinda like the Sword of Freyr, it's primarily gonna be used as a support weapon. Or I should say, a mode of transportation. Cause the main thing I'm gonna use this for is to go from point A to point B, which you'll get to see eventually. But first I need to go to my basement. Now you might be wondering why I made a second enchanting setup in my basement. I can assure you, this one at least is not a king. I wanna use some magic, some spells if you will. But regular spells are kinda boring and I'm not a nerd, so I'm gonna use spell swords. Let's be honest, which one's more intimidating? A little nerd boy with the stick he got off the ground? Or a 6'4", 200-pound dude just caked up in armor with a sword that fires lightning bolts? Anyway, the thingamabob you see in my hand is a spellbinding table, which you guessed it, is a table that is used to bind spells. You can already see a bunch of spellbooks. Of all of the spellbooks, I like the arcane one. I also got the arcane techniques and the fire techniques to satiate my inner pyromaniac. I also maxed out my fire technique book so I could unleash some fiery wrath upon my enemies. Yeah, I also don't know where I'm at. I probably just forgot to record. As I can gather, I went on an adventure and yeah, I forgot to record for 2 days. I found this interesting looking island that looked like it was held back like 10 updates. Didn't really have anything interesting in it, no special mobs or bosses, anything. I don't know if it's interesting for y'all to see me just flying around on my mount, so I'm just gonna show you some footage. I don't know if I've already said this, but I have no script for these videos. I just say things that come to my mouth. So yeah, if the dialogues are weird, you know, my bad, but you do get the authentic experience. After a pretty long while of flying around, I found this structure, which was pretty empty, except this chest. Inside this were a few things, which are not gonna be useful to me anyways. Since I didn't find anything of use to steal, I had to kill them. In this fight, you can see the Sword of Freyr in action. It did pretty good. Right around the corner, I found a structure that seemed to be a woodland mansion, but in hindsight, I'm pretty sure this one is a fake one. I don't know though. This evoker did not stand a chance. And I don't know where the fuck this creeper came from. I was pretty sure it killed my sword, but no, the Sword of Freyr somehow survived that. He's just so dedicated to the grind. He's almost like an unpaid intern. I ran around for a while, but this one seems so empty. This is why I said it's probably fake. As you can see, I don't even have to fight this skeleton cause my intern is just taking care of my job. After I was done with the mansion, I wanted to fly around a bit more. This is when I saw this floating village. As you can guess, this is not good news for them. Well, I hope you guys have good ancestral records cause you're gonna need them. After bringing down death upon those villagers, I went back to my home with a clear conscience. They're all gonna die eventually, so why not today? After all this time, I finally realized I had another base and I didn't take any loot from them. I simply forgot. You can literally see me thinking eeny meeny miny mo. And yeah, it worked. This is my old base. Yeah, the loot is definitely not that mind-blowing, although I did find a corrupted eye, so that's another one off the list. Even though there weren't anything mind-blowing, I did find a lot of stuff, like general craftables and a lot of enchanting books. Now I had 7 of the 12 eyes I needed for the Ender Dragon fight. All I need to do is to find the 5 remaining eyes, which should be easy. I also ended up using all of my Cinderstone trophies, cause I wanted to make an explorer's compass, which will give me the nearest location of any structure I want to find. Even though I had the item that lets me know where the location of the structure is, I still have to put the actual name of the structure in here, and embarrassingly, I did not know it's called a Stronghold. I had to pull up Google. Anyway, after typing the name, it gives you the nearest location of the structure. In my case, it's more than 2000 blocks away. After marking the coordinates on the map, I go out for an adventure. While I'm on my adventure, I also was looking for any witches I could find. After a long while of digging and obviously abusing the map, I managed to find my way to the Stronghold. Even though I'm here, it's modded, so it's so huge it's difficult to find the portal room. But eventually I do find my way. Man, I really wish I had a capable PC to run with shaders, cause I 100% know this room was built with shaders in mind. I can just imagine this would look so cool. I immediately start making some obsidian, cause I didn't bring any waystones and I desperately need them, cause I'm not gonna come all the way back here again. As you can see by the way I named this waystone, I am quite a funny man. Please laugh. I went back to my home and brought all 7 of my eyes. Since the Stronghold already had 1 eye, I only need 4 more, after the 7 I just placed. Tragedy struck when I couldn't find my mount, and when I tried to summon him, he wouldn't summon. After finding him and making him follow, I used a waystone. Also I need to find witches so I can kill them and take their eye. I was also training up this villager, in the hopes that he'll give me an evil eye, which, obviously, he did not give me. So I found his replacement real quick, and this time, he didn't disappoint me as much, cause to get an evil eye, you need to have a rabbit's foot, and I personally am not into feet. So to get my hands on some feet, I went out to find the nearest desert. On that journey, I found a mineshaft. Whilst being there, I found the lost eye. Just 3 more to go. After exploring the rest of the mineshaft, I went out to find the desert again. Even though I found quote-unquote deserts, these didn't really spawn any rabbits. What I did find is a bunch of desert goblins. Yeah, whatever man. After getting over that disappointment, I found another cool looking structure. And obviously I went straight to the top, cause that's where the best loot is. And that's what I'm here to do, loot. And by opening the first chest, I am not impressed. I don't actually know what I'm expecting, but at least something cool. I was going through the bottom layer finding equally disappointing loot when I heard a curious sound of my next victim. The interesting part is he had a firearm, and not just any firearm, he had firework rockets, which I'm pretty sure you can't make in survival. He definitely hacked this shit in. After not finding any good loot, I was bored of the structure, so I called up my free ride and went back out. Nope, I lied. I'm addicted to this. This is basically gambling. I'm just hoping for that rare legendary loot. And the only legendary thing I found is this diamond legging, which will help me conserve some diamonds by not having to reroll them. I could also put some enchants on it before combining both of my pants. I ended up checking out all the chests I found on my way, and I'm gonna be honest, I did not find anything good. So I went back to harassing the wildlife, which will definitely not give me bad karma. Definitely not. After finding a village with a waystone, I decide to go back home, since it doesn't cost me anything, except my hard-earned levels. Right outside my house, I found a skeleton horse drowning in my pond. And being the animal-loving Sigma male I am, I decide to rescue it. But it was a trap, and I get punished for being a good Samaritan. So I kill each and every one of them. I wanted to keep one of them alive, a horse, so I could keep it, but yeah, I ended up killing them all. I display the head of my fallen enemy on my wall, and I must say, it looks gorgeous. Back to business, I learned that I could actually craft one of those eyes. So I actually crafted the undead one. It just had the easiest recipe I could craft. You might be wondering why I'm getting all these levels again, and this time I'm not trying to enchant, I just need to make another eye. Just to be clear, I did not plan on jumping in lava. Thankfully, lava damage is very negligible at this point. The reason why I'm in hell this time is not because of my past sins, those have not managed to catch up to me yet. All I need is some soul sand, which I've already collected. Man, I'm so rich I don't even wanna walk. I almost feel American. And now I'm making another disgusting hole inside my disgusting hole. You might ask, what's the reason? I don't know, watch the motherfucking video. My best guess is I want to find another big disgusting hole. And voila! I was correct. I am editing this video, but we're not done. We need to go deeper. That's what your mom said to me last night when we were playing Minecraft. I don't know, man, coming up with jokes, quote-unquote jokes, in the middle of videos is not that easy. I definitely should not have put all my eggs in one basket. I am a CSC engineer, quote-unquote, but I don't know any jack shit. They just teach us random shit. Anyway, if you still couldn't guess why I'm making a deep hole underground after collecting soul sand and wither skeleton skulls, you might need to seek professional help. Anyway, the wither boss bar really looks cool. It's just a shame he's still a pushover. It took me exactly 9 seconds after he fully spawned to kill him. Yeah, he's not even a 10-second man. Like, women laugh at 2 minutes. Come on, bro. You gotta put your game up. Anyway, I still have 6 other wither skeleton skulls to go. So, we will just have to rinse and repeat. Yeah, I didn't know they drop undead eyes, so I crafted one for no reason. Another one comes, another one goes. And I go to the stronghold, cause I need to put up more eyes. Apparently those aren't undead eyes, those are wither eyes. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. Anyway, just one more to go. So I located an illager mansion with my compass. My primary goal is to find another eye, a witch eye or a villager eye, whichever drops first. But first I need to look through old footage, cause I need to find where I parked my ride. I don't know if that counts as cheating, but I don't care. Well, after completing another epic adventure, which you will not be able to see, we have found our primary target. And let's just hope we find another eye. I'm gonna be honest and save your time. We did in fact not find any eyes. We just wasted our time. We hate ourselves. We wish we could end it all. During my flight, I come across a shipwreck, which I had to explore. Obviously, I already knew there isn't really anything useful I could find at this point. But when I came back up, I had another problem. My ride did try to abandon me, but he still doesn't know that the only reason he's still alive is because he's useful to me. Anyway, after masterfully finding out where the treasure map leads, the only thing I managed to find is disappointment and hatred for this mother game. So I decided to take out my anger on some innocent beings. They're not quite so innocent, because first of all, their skin color is different from mine. So for that crime, I'm going to painfully kill them with my less powerful sword. The only reason for doing this is so I can make it last, make them feel every bit of pain. I got a hold of another map, and I swear to God, I'm not trying to stall, but I am just so bored. Also, there's a chance you could find another type of eye inside the treasure chest. And voila, what did I say? Yeah, I got way too excited over that. After finding the last eye, I did not want to waste any more of my time. I immediately place a waystone and go back home. After gathering my stuff at home, I make the journey to the stronghold. I literally waited 60 days for this moment. Like, the eyes are so hard to gather, but this was so worth it. Actually, it was not. This was anticlimactic. Since this was modded and it took so much effort, I thought this would have a lot more visuals, but yeah, call me disappointed. But I must say, having a actual end platform was definitely cool, although a bit further away from my tastes. But this is nothing a little bit of bridging can't fix. And I must say, the end looks really cool. The skies are beautiful, and why does that Enderman have fingers? Why is he hunched back? And why is he low-key stronger than the Ender Dragon? At first I was wondering where the Ender Dragon was, but then I pieced together, oh, it's a summoning ritual thing. There is gonna be a cool visual. And yes, for some reason, it sent me back to my spawn point. Since this was the last waystone I touched, it acts as a spawn point. Anyway, I go to the Stronghold and quickly run back into the end. The dragon hadn't yet summoned, so I did not miss much. Even though, that was annoying. I shoot my first shot at one of the crystals, and I promptly miss. So I change up my strategies. Since I can't aim to even save my life, I bring myself to the crystals. The dragon is surprisingly smart. It actually blocked my arrow from hitting the crystal. But smartness won't work against me, because I am a dumb brute, with way too much hands on my time. That part was not scripted. I literally messed that up. And for some reason, the dragon was absolutely aura farming, and I intend to stop all that nonsense. In the middle of the fight, I went back home, since I can do that with the help of waystones. They kinda break the game. I actually went back home to make some bottles, cause I need them to catch some dragon's breath. I can just imagine how bad the dragon smell might be, like warm, moist, and stanky. These are all three things Donkey from Shrek wanted. For some reason I also got this Ender Air bottle, which I think if you just right click in the end, it will automatically give you the Ender Air bottle. It might be useful in some cases, I don't know. I was already missing most of my shots, but then I noticed that the dragon was regenerating. The dragon tried to come at me for destroying its last pillar, but he definitely did not want the smoke. In order to show my dominance and big energy, I went on to the very tower the dragon was resting on, to show it who the real Sigma male was. I say that as I miss every single shot. Apparently the towers just infinitely respawn the crystals, so I have to take care of the dragon quickly. I think the dragon was definitely buffed cause it was doing way too much damage than it should. What's even more frustrating that every time I whittle down the dragon's health, another crystal just spawns and gives it health. So my progress was definitely slow. In between the fight, the dragon somehow got stuck in the middle of the temple, which was definitely good news for me. Even though fighting it melee was definitely risky, it was still worth it. But alas, good things don't last. After a bit more fighting, I discovered that it actually just got stuck inside the tower every time. This was absolutely great, cause I was definitely not beating it with just a bow alone. After a long fought battle, I was finally done. This was definitely the most amount of time it took me to beat the Ender Dragon. It was kinda embarrassing. I saw a bunch of rings inside the portal, which I wanted to access but without falling inside the portal. The rings weren't super great, but they were cool enough. I also wanted the egg. I was just hoping it doesn't get stuck inside a crevice or somewhere. Thankfully, it was right near. The Enderman was definitely preying on my downfall, but I'm just so nonchalant, I didn't even care. After getting all my stuff, I immediately started making a bridge, cause I need to find the MCDs and an elytra. But mostly I just need the loot. I don't really need an elytra at this point. I have multiple ways of flying. I somehow managed to spawn a endermite on my first throw. These things are so hard to get when you actually need them. It almost pushed me down. If this was how I died, I would never touch Minecraft again. Since the endermite scared me, I am not gonna use any ender pearls again. There seems to be a giant pile of shit with some weird ores stuck to it. After being done nesting myself up, I still needed to find some structures. After a while, I spot this end ship which seems to have fallen. But when I got closer, I saw it was definitely larger and had a very different interior design, which is pretty cool to see. But the loot inside was nothing to write home about, so I promptly jumped ship. In the middle of this dark dungeon, there was a hidden mansion, which definitely did not give out good vibes, and for some reason every time I step on these flowers, they blind me. It's almost like a wither flower, but without the withers. I was expecting a bunch of monsters inside the house, but it seemed pretty chill. To my surprise, they even had chests, even though the loot was obviously not great. At least the second one had some stuff in it. I think these axes are made from the same ore we found earlier. This random house in the middle of a field had better loot than the forest mansion. And if you look closely, right next to the house inside the field, there is an end city. After reaching the city, I immediately go to town on the shulkers. Even though they don't stand a chance, they are extremely annoying. I'm just gonna cut this part since everyone has seen end city busting. The real end ship actually looked like the fallen or crashed end ship we saw before, but this one actually had an elytra. I also found a legendary diamond helmet in one of the chests. I also found this somewhat unique room that had 4 chests and 4 spawners, which I'm pretty sure isn't in vanilla Minecraft. Right above it was another room with a lot more chests. After looting the entire thing, I went out to find more stuff, and I found another fallen ship, which had a pretty good ring inside it. When I was trying to fly away, I failed and I saw this interesting looking structure. I already kinda knew what this thing is. It's a boss summon. It's one of the endgame bosses. It's called the Obelisk. It's big, it's black, and it's hard. God, that was cringe. Also, for some reason, there are these mutant dog looking monsters. I was quite cautious of them since, I don't know, maybe they'd spit at me and I'd die. After killing a bunch of those things, I went out to the obelisk structure since it had a lot of endstone bricks and I needed them. Just don't ask me what for, I don't even know. And now I know, it's because I wanted to make a platform to stop my waystones from getting destroyed, since these bosses usually destroy every block when they spawn. After that, I flew out to find a chorus fruit forest, cause I need a butt ton of them to make those reforging items, which can give you legendary and mythical. For some reason, this mutant enderman was mad at me and I did not want to know what he could do, so I dipped out of there immediately. Also, I wanted to explore what's inside this tower. This one had much better loot than the other one, and these are the loots I found. I'd say these are pretty decent. Finally, I get to the chorus fruit forest I found earlier. Now all I need to do is collect each and every one I could find. After being satisfied with the amount of chorus fruit I collected, I moved on to mining endstone. A lot of endstone. A butt ton of endstone. A mother load of endstone. A bazillion load of endstone. Yeah, I'm just stalling for time. And I'm done, I'm satisfied. Something your mom has never said to your dad. After collecting a bit more chorus fruit, I call it quits and return home. And after returning home, I sort my chests for 17 minutes straight. Yup, I had a lot of, and I cooked all the chorus fruit I brought. After I was done sorting, my chorus fruit had been done cooking, and now we could make a bunch of galena chunks. I thought we'd have a lot more than just 97 chunks. I was hoping for like 200 or 300. I also used the dragon egg and dragon's breath to make a dragon backpack. I'm gonna be honest, it looks pretty cool, if not a little bit derpy. I also learned you just get an elytra and another dragon egg if you just beat the dragon. You might be wondering what I'm gonna do with this one-of-a-kind treasure. It's gonna be on the floor. I also made a fishing rod and turned it into legendary to get more luck. To get a iron sword into legendary. To get more luck. To finally get a fishing rod into mythical. To get more luck. Then I turned the iron sword into mythical. To get more luck. Now I had 5.5 points of luck. And I'm gonna use all that luck to reroll my armor. And I got this one to mythical quite easily. The helmet was even easier, but the pants were being quite more difficult. In the meantime, I got another mythical chestplate. But finally, right after that, I got the mythical leggings. 2 mythical leggings actually. but I still couldn't get my mythical boots. So to clear my mind and to probably do something else, I went out to the end. And now for reasons I don't understand, I'm taking down this tree. This was probably racially motivated. I was actually here for more chorus fruit, cause I really need my mythical Tims. After collecting a forest's worth of chorus fruit, I move on to other ventures. Ventures that include mining out a ton of cheese. Even after all that effort, I still couldn't get my mythical boots. So I get fed up and put netherite on my good armor, right in front of my boots, cause it needs to learn its lesson. And that worked. After I was done putting netherite on my other armor, the boots literally took one try. And voila! I'm halfway there. I still need to put another upgrade on my armor. But I am glad, cause this was the best time to get my new armor, since this was day 69. Yes, I'm still counting days. I also reforged my bow into legendary, although I'd love mythical, but I'm not putting that much effort into this. I also upgraded it into a netherite short bow. I also put diamond trims on all my armor, because let's be honest, hardcore Minecraft is all about vanity. After completing my little fashion show, I go out to find the ancient city. Since I already have the codes, it's not gonna be difficult at all. But before that, I reroll my crossbow. This time I also only got legendary, although I really want mythical. I also rerolled the other crossbow I found a while ago. I reroll my main crossbow again, and this time I finally get mythical. After that I put netherite on it. Then I learned I could also put ruby on it, so I did that too. After a while of flying, I get to the location where the ancient city is, but this isn't an open cave, so I need to dig down. I was a little bit nervous when I entered the ancient city, cause I lost multiple of my runs inside this very place. The warden is no joke. To be extra safe, I put down a waystone, so I could run away like a bitch if I need to. And I did. I needed to do a supply run. I actually need the loot inside these chests, so I wanted to do it carefully. That's why I brought so much wool. If I could just block every path the sound could escape from, the shriekers can't actually hear me. I'm not trying to risk it by running around. I just need the loot. At this specific moment, you can almost hear me shitting my pants. This is why I have trouble walking, because of the massive iron balls I'm dragging along. After getting my fill with treasures, my next objective was to kill the warden with this very elegantly designed trap. So I go out there and find another warden. For some reason I thought he'd follow me, which he didn't do. You can tell I have not killed the warden many times. So I move on to my next best strategy, which was shooting it from afar. To my credit, it was working. But my trap wasn't. So I immediately turned tail and ran away. So I ran as fast and as far I could go, and I stood there in a corner like a stupid fuck bitch. While I was towering up, I did not notice that the warden was still following me. This was slowly turning into a horror game, which was not in my bucket list. I definitely said nope and dipped away. When I got onto this tower to save my life, I had a brilliant idea. What if I shoot the warden from afar? As I miss my first shot. I don't care what you say, this fight was completely fair, and I deserve it 100%. He dropped a bunch of stuff, most of it is trash, just like him. So I spawned another one, since I need a bunch more of their stuff to complete the armor set. And obviously I'm just gonna cheese every fight cause this also isn't really a boss fight, I'm just trying to get some items. During these fights I also learned wardens can't really move around when they're in cobwebs. They just stand there like zombies. Now I have all the ingredients needed to make these reinforced echo shards. I also made these unique smithing templates called the Warden upgrade. So at last I could make my endgame armor. Even though these aren't really the best. With the time I have, these are the best I could get. And I must say, the Warden armor looks really cool. And then I went on to watch an entire CDOG VA video. I'm not joking, I'm incredibly lazy. For now, my next objective was to kill the Blackstone Golem. I also made this pocket wormhole, which allows me to access any waystone wherever I want. Then I go to the Nether and start making a 9x9 Blackstone platform. Then I put chiseled polished Blackstone in the middle of each side. And all I need to do now is put this gilded blackstone shard on each of the polished blackstone, but for some reason I could not put them on. Then I learned it's not chiseled polished blackstone. What I actually needed was chiseled polished blackstone holder. Still, nothing happened. It's because I made the platform wrong. I needed to put the blocks outside the platform. He's just standing there, menacingly. From the first hit, it seemed like he wasn't doing really that much damage. And also maybe because of the cobwebs, he can't move. Although he seems to have projectiles, which also can't do that much damage. So I decided I should just bum rush him and kill him with my sword. It looks like he finally got out of my cobweb, and he also has a son. Had a son. I just have so much healing, the damage he's doing is negligible. For some reason he's blue now. I don't know what changed. Only thing that's even posing a little bit of trouble to me is his knockback, even though I should be almost immune to knockback at this point. And yeah, it was a pretty anticlimactic fight. It was pretty weak actually. All he dropped was his heart, which I don't know what can I use it for. Next up is the conjunctivitis, which is another weak boss in my opinion. So I quickly run out of my house and go into the Mind Cells Dimension portal right next to my house. And as you're gonna see, I'm gonna speedrun this bit. I've already found the location of the first boss in this dimension. We need its drop to actually get to the conjunctivitis. I'm not even gonna speed up this part, it's way too easy. Bruh, literally took 5 seconds. And this is the item we need, the Vine Rune. After finding that, we have to go back to the first level, since the way to the boss room is from this level. This mod is really fun when you're starting out, but at this stage of the game, it's way too easy. They really need to put conjunctivitis before the Ender Dragon. To be honest, conjunctivitis is really freaky. Like what? Why do you have a BDSM dungeon? Look at this one-eyed creep. The only difficult part of this boss battle are his tentacles. And as a man of faith, I do not fuck with tentacles. They stay underground and don't come up, and when they come up, they do surprisingly high amount of damage. It also has this disgusting phase where he shoots green goo at you. These are probably his boogers. Yeah, easy peasy, eye squeezy. Sometimes it drops really good loot, but I have a feeling I'm not gonna get much. I make this cell crafter thing that works as a crafting table, but only for mine cell stuff. So I made the conjunctivitis tentacle. It's not really anything to write home about, it just works as a grappling hook. I wanted to go to my next boss destination with the Elytra, so I put some enchantments on it and upgraded it. Apparently you also have a unique slot for Elytra. I was flying, but at a very slow speed for some reason. Even slower than the glider I've been using since the beginning. I presumed my enchantments were the main culprit here, so I took them off. To my chagrin, it was not the case, so I had to go out there and find my Zarpatak again. He was definitely not in a safe place. At first, I needed to bring him back home, after which I started my long and arduous task of finding the old chump. Since this boss did a lot of damage, I did not want to fight him fair and square. Yeah, I'm a little pussy boy bitch, so I dug from a corner to find him. And no, this is not the boss. That is the boss. The way he's moving, he might be arthritic. To be fair to him, he is old. You also can't use the same sword against him for too many strikes. When you start hearing the ding sound, you know you have to switch swords. This is really when the actual boss fight begins, the Frenzied Shade. Yay, we won. Even though we killed him, you can still hear him in the background. It's because he's spawned multiple copies. That's why this fight could be difficult, because if you don't kill him fast enough, he just keeps spawning them. Anyway, if you didn't know, you also have treasure inside these boxes. After killing him, I felt quite disappointed, so I wanted to move on to next adventure. And our next objective is to kill the obelisk, who sounds like a euphemism. Right after I got there, I immediately spawned him by using one of my offenders. He just stands there like a brick and spawns these runes which damage you. All you need to do is damage him and not get damaged by his runes. A pretty easy concept. My Elytra was working against me, so I had to get rid of it. I just jump in, slap him around with my sword, and jump out. A honest hard day of work. I know this would be difficult if you didn't have Mark 3 speed, but I do. I'm just coded like that, huh? I don't know how, I don't know why, but suddenly he got rights. And now he's blue for some reason. Yeah, the blue one definitely makes me slow. If you're asking, I have not beaten this boss yet. This is my first time fighting it. I know nothing about this fight. After running around for a while, I just figured out, yeah, you need to break these. Also, you need to break them before they change colors. Also, you could just fly and not get hit by him. Yeah, you can't do jack shit. And now we're back to the old routine. This time, he spawned two of them. Finally managed to break one. Finally, after struggling for like 5 minutes, I managed to break them all. I took down half of his HP before he went to the next stage. This time I got rid of the runes quite easily and really fast. Obsidian Obliterator. Nah, bruh, that sounds wrong. After it dies, it drops down a big black thing. That does not look PG. I'm gonna take this down. I wanted to mine this structure from the top to the bottom. That's why I went up to the top. To my surprise, there was a chest. I brought out my lucky fishing rod so I can get the best possible loot. And I am disappointed. Anyway, all I wanted to do was mine this thing. After mining, I decided to jump to my death. After not dying, I immediately start preparing for the next boss by placing a bunch of obsidian. And now I'm running in the Nether to find crying obsidian, and this is the only place I know where I can find them. I found them. Now I need the dragon egg for some evil deeds. Failure. Apparently it doesn't break with the end stone, so the old reliable we have to go with. Success. I was looking in the quest book why he wasn't spawning, but I think he was just shy. It's just an ender eye. I'd say this is a lack of creativity. I really thought his I-beam was not hitting me, and if it did, it would do a lot of damage. But apparently it was hitting me. It just wasn't doing any damage. So I'm just gonna bow spam him. Apparently he was pregnant, cause he just spawned 2 of them. I almost fell in the void. For some reason, her kids are gone now. Super sad moment. 1 like equals 1 prayer. And look at that, your prayers worked. Yeah, if you're wondering what that staff is, it just basically stops all the enemies from spawning. I got it from one of the bosses. I don't remember which one. I don't know why, but he gets chopped up into 3 pieces. Also, why did he teleport me up here? This was definitely supposed to make me fall, but did not work out. Yay, another easy victory. Maybe I'm a bit overprepared. So I made a decision to not upgrade my stuff anymore, except maybe my weapon. And surprisingly, I got my egg back. I thought I might have lost it permanently. After returning home, I started wondering which one should I make my weapon, using the reward I got from killing that boss. I also put the scepter on top of my house, so the damn zombies can't break my door anymore. I also got this eye from the boss. It's just a unlimited ender pearl. It's not unlimited, it breaks. so I had to enchant it, because this should be useful. The next boss on our checklist is the Archmage, who doesn't spawn in the overworld. He has his own dimension, called the Glass Ocean, which you can access by summoning his minions, who should drop a sword, which literally lets you cut through dimensions. You summon his minions by using the Hexblade offering. His minions use spell swords, which have different effects, but they are quite weak. But alas, none of them drop the sword I need. So I craft a bunch more Hexblade offerings, in hopes to finally get the sword I need. After my 5th try, finally one of the wizards dropped the Hexblade. And this is the Glass Ocean. Name checks out. But sorry to say, the towers have nothing inside them. It's just an empty library. All of the towers are just empty libraries. So I use my prismatic heart to spawn Magus, our next objective. Magus is a really interesting boss cause he is a mage, but not just any mage. Magus is a spellblade user. You're actually supposed to fight him by exploiting his weakness. Every few seconds, his weakness changes to one of the 4 elements. But I know he has a secret weakness, which is getting slapped by a sword multiple times, which I am really good at. And just like that, without using any strategy, a great mage falls to a berserker. I fight him a couple more times for good measure. The second time he dropped what I was looking for, which I still couldn't see in my inventory. The Starforge, basically the second best spell sword in the entire game, which we will not be using. I spawn back in a random bed where I set my respawn time a long time ago. After returning home, I pack up my bags again to go to the ancient city. I'm down here to kill more wardens. I killed these wardens to upgrade my enchanting setup. It's been a while since I gave you any updates. As you can see, I've been gradually upgrading it every few days. Now I'm putting on my XP gear, which is absolutely devastating news for the skeletons in my closet. While I was returning home from a honest day of work, a group of dirty, stinking scallywags decided to rob me, and totally unprovoked at that. This time I was prepared. They don't know I got that thing on me. After I kill this master, this horse will be mine. I don't know why he's not moving. It's because he doesn't have a saddle. You saw nothing. For the next few hours, all I did was enchant books and combine them to make a near perfect sword. I used the 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 method because that yields the best results with the lowest amount of XP. I couldn't even fit all the enchants I actually found because a lot of them were not compatible with each other. In the end, I decided to make do with whatever I had. To be honest, whatever I had was already really good. All I need to do is test it on something. And that something is this piglin. To be honest, he lasted way too long for my liking, which is something you'll never get to hear from a woman. Next, I make a charm of bursting vitality. You might be familiar to this, since this is what your mom calls me. I also make it indestructible by using something I forgot the name of. My next objective is to go to my backyard, but not in real life. Since I make Minecraft videos, I am allergic to grass. Anyway, I'm actually here to fight another boss. I actually couldn't fight the real boss altar in the overworld, And I also couldn't find the name of the structure. So we'll just have to fight the harder, more difficult boss, which you have to manually summon by using the old moon altar. Here he comes, the fallen icon. You already know my incredibly well-built strategy of fighting him. First, I'll summon the Sword of Freyr. At first, it seemed like I wasn't doing any damage. I was kinda getting worried. But then, apparently, I'm doing damage now. You can also see on the top left, I have given him a lot of negative effects. Not quite as much as he's given me, but still, something's better than nothing. I have to constantly dodge him cause his attacks do a lot of damage. He can just 3-shot me anytime. And that massive swing attack does more than half of my HP. I'm just gonna hit him, run, heal up, and then come back. This time, finally, I also remembered to use my ultimate weapon, the Celestes. This one gives me 5 seconds of invincibility. Basically, for 5 seconds, no one can hurt me, and all the damage I would have taken gets blown back. Although my Sword of Freyr keeps dying, but he's working as a really good summon. He takes all the attention away from me, so the boss doesn't actually target me for half the time. Finally, he's down, but not for long. I actually lost a couple of worlds to this boss, so I'm not taking any chances. This one, the Harbinger of Moonlight, is the real boss. He has a massive sword that gives him a lot of range, and he does even more damage. Also, by the way, if you're wondering, no, I can't use ranged weapons against him. My main goal is to dodge that attack that does explosion damage, and also the range attacks. He literally swatted me away like a fly. What a goofy ass laugh. He dropped his sword, which is definitely not as powerful in my hands. What I really needed from him was the Essence of Glory, which essentially lets me get my final weapon. Supernova, Death of a Star. It's also soulbound to me. I don't know how that helps me, cause if I die, I die. Now, if you wanted to test this weapon, we'd have to fight a boss. And the next boss on our checklist is the nameless one. But he's not quite nameless, cause I'm gonna give him a name. And it's Octoboy. Super menacing, I know. To fight Octoboy, we need a summoning pedestal, which you guessed I don't have, and I have no idea how to make. And to make it, you need a bunch of glisteel ingot, which I should have from my end busting. Newsflash, I don't have them. On other news, I can use these molten fragments to level up my sword. Since I still need to fight Octoboy, I need to go to the end. I also need to farm these deformed looking dogs, cause they drop something I really need. More like Octoboy needs. Yep, I almost died. And apparently, glisteel comes from gold. You have to transmute gold into glisteel with this weird looking stick. Now we finally have our pedestal. At this point, I was really cheerful, since I thought I was 90% of the way there. I was not. Anyway, I went on to the end again, probably because I needed some weird stuff. The next stuff I need is a kind of ore, which I, for the life of me, could not find. I had to look for what it felt like. In my adventure, I also found this weird looking temple, which didn't really have anything interesting inside. Just a bunch of phantom spawners, which I swiftly took care of. Found this weird looking sunken ship. I don't know how this one got sunk. Yeah, my parkour skills aren't something to write home about. I'm just straight dookie ass. Yeah, I immediately gave up. As I had thought, the chests were obviously disappointing. After getting out of the tower, I immediately start digging, since I really need to find that ore. After a long bit of running around, I finally found one piece, not the anime. Now I know it's at least real. After getting my fill, I get out of the cave. I place my pedestal. All I need now are the 4 ingredients. By the way, this is not Octoboy, this is Null. Octoboy comes after him. It's just a player character with a skin on. He doesn't really fight me, he just runs away and spawns Endermen, which at this point in the game do literally no damage. I think he's trying that head and run tactic I was talking about before, but he just can't do it like I do. Did he just spit at me? That I feel harassed. Buddy, you're gonna meet me at court. The fight was definitely taking way too long, not because I couldn't damage him. It's because he's running. I sincerely apologize if I'm making it too fast for you to watch, but to me it seems incredibly boring. Literally nothing happens, he doesn't have a second form or a new attack, he's just doing the same thing. I also discovered another problem, my Sword of Fear reaches him faster and hits him before I can, so I'm doing significantly less damage. That was the most annoying boss fight I probably ever had. Okay, this time it's really Octoboy. Apparently all we need is 4 ominous eyes. After all these days, it finally dawned on me that I should decorate this place. I just made a netherite twin blade. I don't actually need a new weapon. I need corruption, cause the Octoboy is a little corrupt fella. After turning it into a runic twin blade, we need to upgrade it into a corrupt relic. And to do that, we need Aberration Heart, which we get by killing those weird dogs. So I immediately get on that mission. And you can bet your last dollar I was on that mission for a long while. Even though I had the highest tier of looting and the highest level of luck achievable, it took me a mind-numbing amount of time. Finally, I can make the weapon I only need for one reason. I am never gonna use this again. I also need the abyssal pedestal to summon Octoboy. Basically, I have to keep this weapon in my hand for a while for corruption to build up, and I am waiting for a while. After waiting, a flock of creepy looking eyes start ramming into me. If this was another time, I would actually like it. Unfortunately for them, this is not the correct time. Anyway, now with all the things in hand, I can make the final preparations. I had to travel a few thousand blocks to get some black candles. No, I was not gonna make them. After landing on a scenic site, I wanted to start our date with the Octoboy. That somehow sounds wrong. I even put all the candles on fire to make it extra romantic, but my date still wasn't coming. So I was wondering, what did I do wrong? Is it because I made fun of her by calling her a boy, even though she's a fair maiden? At this point, I was mad. My male ego was hurt, so I took my anger out on some fucked up looking dogs. For my sweet little date, I even brought another heart, but she did not respond. So with a heavy heart of my own, I go back home, and I make another hardening crystal to make a permanent charm of ancient knowledge. Absolutely terrible news for the skeletons in my closet. Now I'm traveling a few thousand blocks north to find an ocean monument, because I have 15 more days and I have nothing to do. Thankfully, there is a pleasant little sky island right above the ocean monument. I sincerely want no smoke, so I'm just gonna tunnel into this. I'm only here to mine these blocks. I actually don't need any loot. The reason I need these blocks is because I wanna make sea shelves, which are just sea prism enchantment shelves. After crafting a load of them, I need to infuse them. I need another gizmo to get another enchanting item. This time, I need to go to the Beavers. Not the Beavers or the Bayverse. The Beavers. I did not find any bees, so this time, I'm using the help of my boy. Finally, I get to see a bee. I traveled far too long for this. You might be wondering, why am I putting a piston on top of a hay bale? And to that I say, you're asking way too many questions. Shut the f up and watch the video. That was not a censor. I literally censored myself in real life. I used a piston to push myself into a bee house to get into the Bumble Zone. This strangely sounds like a special attack Bumblebee from Transformers would have used. Everything is made of honey, even the slimes and even the walls. And I'm already sick of it. I don't know why I called this Foul Zone. This was probably meant to be a joke. As you can see, I am not capable of making good ones. I used the honey blocks I mined to make a absurdly long named shelf. If you really wanna, you can pause the video and read. I also made shelves of Hellbound Reflection. I have no idea what that means. Literally random words. Another bookshelf. I'm in the end again. I don't know why. Oh, now I get it. I'm looking for dragon heads. I need them to make another shelf. I found a second one. Thankfully, I only need 3. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And now I'm making melon shelves. Bookshelves. Made out of melons. Oh, that wasn't your question? Yeah, don't ask me why I'm using this. I'm not gonna explain all this complicated stuff, because I don't wanna overload your pretty little brain. You just relax, get some food, get some snacks. Just sit tight and watch, babe. After using the infused dragon breath, I don't know how you make it even worse. I just wanna know, infuse it with what? Like actual shit from a butt. Anyway, we can finally make the end shelves, which aren't even the final ones we need. This is the draconic end shelf, the final bookshelf. To be honest, I only made this because I had way too much time on my hands. I have not slept the entire video. So instead of doing 100 days, I'm doing more like 160 days. Here we have the deep shelf of arcane treasures. This one basically just allows you to have treasure enchantments, such as mending, which you typically can't get from an enchanting table. But after using this bookshelf, we can get them. And now I'm back at the beavers, cause I didn't actually get what I needed to make the bee shelves. Now I'm at this weird place that has a honey cocoon, which is just a regular chest with less storage. I was getting out of this place when suddenly someone hit me from the back. He really did not have to do that. I was leaving. Motherfucker's trying to hide now. He doesn't know it's too late for him and his buddy. I actually felt kinda bad for them. After I broke this block, this message popped up. You lack protection of the hive effect. I don't know what that means. And find out we did, cause a swarm of bees came to attack me. Unluckily for them, they are not a match for me. They literally do 1 damage, which I can very easily out-heal. Even though they don't pose a challenge to me, I still don't want to kill them. The bees just keep coming. I don't know why. Is it because I took some honey? Like, this entire world is made of honey. How much do you need? This is the sin of greed. And as God has planned, they shall perish by my hands. Top 10 corniest things I've said. Okay, bees were fine, but why are there spiders in here? These, I'm guessing, are bee larvae, which I'm gonna leave alone. When I looked at my inventory, I actually had found everything I needed, so I just dipped out of there. As it seems I don't have the correct wood to make beehives, so I go out to gather some wood in this nice Christmas time. I hope I make it in time for Christmas, not in game. I have recorded this 6 months before. I hope I can get it out this month. Won't you believe it? I've gathered the wrong wood. I need to gather more wood. This time I make sure to get the correct wood. I somehow messed up making wooden planks. What the fuck even is this? I'm just wasting my time. Anyway, after messing up 3 times, I finally managed to make beehives and by proxy, bee shelf. Now I have 100% of everything, almost 100%. Yup, now we're there. This better give me amazing enchantments cause I wasted a lot of my time on this. Yup, finally, we get to meet Octoboy. I just need to put this hard on the pedestal and I'm immediately running away cause he does a lot of damage. Even with all of my armor, he still one-shots me and for some reason he could teleport me. Yeah, this attack, if I was in the middle more, it would one-shot me. I'm just letting the Sword of Frat take care of this one. I immediately ditched my plan of fighting him head on. Listen, he has a lot of hacks, so I get to do a little bit of cheesing. Where is he going? Who is he fighting? Oh, I know. He can't get through the cobwebs. I mean, he can go through, but he's just so slow. If I dare to say, this might be an easy fight. Yeah, he literally can't reach me. I bored him down for a while, but I kinda felt bad. You know, he's Octoboy. We should fight him head on. It's mostly because I couldn't see his health bar going down. While I was distracted getting my weapons together, he literally got free. And then he got stuck again. Yeah, Octoboy might be a little bit stupid. As long as I avoid this attack, I think I'm fine. The attack didn't even hit me head on, and I still took more than half. Anyway, I cheese him like this for a while until he basically dies. If he had a second form, I did not see it. I didn't even get the final hit. The Sword of Fry killed it. Yeah, completely fair, amazing fight. I don't know how I won. Might just be my pure skill. I also didn't notice, but I have 177 levels. I got this music disc from somewhere, and I want to hear what it sounds like. While this music plays, I should fight the next boss. To fight him, we need to use this beacon of hope. Do you really think you can kill me? You will be very useful to the new king. But I'll have to kill you first. And just like that, I have been spawned back. But it seems like in the glass ocean, you thought you killed me. But the king in yellow made me reborn stronger. And now it's your turn to be reborn. He looks kinda like the archmage we fought before, but this one's name is Gumas, the fallen archmage. He's not doing much damage. I don't know, this might be his first stage. I was so confident, I stopped mid-fight and got out my Sword of Rare. Damn, he actually managed to kill my sword. Actually, at this point, he was kinda doing a lot of damage. More importantly, I was not healing as quick. At this point in the fight, I was getting really nervous. My health was really low. This is the first time in the entire playthrough my health was in single digits. I was not taking any more risks. I know, it was cowardice, but I just can't die right now. In hindsight, I should have been using the potions I got from the Mind Cells dimension. Yeah, I accidentally took out all my advancement rewards, all at the same time. I don't even know what half of these things do. With the rewards, I got this Void Hourglass, which summons a different boss called the Corrupted Champion. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, this design is pretty fire. Alright, the music is really good. Up until this point, I couldn't damage him, but for some reason, I can damage him now. After whittling his health down, he gets another form. Why is he naked? I guess every boss can now teleport me to near them. And for some reason, I did not eat, so I still haven't healed a single bit. Another one. Damn, the sound effects are so good. Just incredibly creepy, incredibly good. Yeah, so apparently he wasn't really a significantly different other boss. This was just a mythic challenge that you can do after the fighting. So I'm guessing since this was mythic 1, we have a lot more mythic challenges to do, which I don't think I'm gonna do. I got the staff, which I presume is spelled Azratagul. He's an ugly looking dog, and he follows me around. Nice. Now I need to go back to the glass ocean to find Gumos. For some reason, these wizards would just randomly spawn once in a while. But this time, I didn't actually stay. I got my lesson from last time. I'm not going in guns blazing. I need to prepare more by killing some more skeletons. And I killed skeletons for one entire day. After decimating the entire skeleton species, I made my last preparations. Listen, if I don't defeat Gumas now, I'm just gonna let myself die. While I was in the glass ocean, I decided I need to fight Magus again. And if I'm being honest with you, I think my sword isn't that good. I mean, it does really good damage, but it's not as fast, so I don't get as much healing as I would before. Anyway, after lots of preparing and lots of thinking, I finally grew a pair and decided to finish. What I had noticed from the first fight that he only does really good damage if he's far away from me. His range damage is really good, but in close quarters I have the advantage. Even though I said all that, he still did way too much damage for my liking. You can see me here using the Celestes to give me 5 seconds of immunity, and if I used all the techniques I had before the fight, I am very confident I would have won the first time. Even though I managed to escape the first time, it definitely bruised my ego. Oh, at last we have won. And regrettably, we don't really have much to do at this point in the game. Every boss is defeated. Maybe they'll add more bosses or more content in the next update, but in this update, this is basically it. I kinda lied. There's one last thing for me to do, for me to rest. After 93 days of non-stop playing, non-stop working on this project, which might not be really good, but bear in mind, I have not slept the entire game. But alas, it's not night yet, so we get to tie up some loose ends, like decorating this place a bit more. I also went out to the village to finally let them be free from their imprisonment. In my base, in my house, I take one final good look at all my things I have achieved. And now I get to take my final rest. And if you made it this far, you might consider subscribing or liking.